Welcome back, my friends. It is a frosty 26 degrees outside today with some pretty high winds. So we're going to be doing our work in the garage. We have the heat on. It's about 50 degrees in here, so it's much better than outside. So last year, my family and I were blessed enough to be able to purchase a ATV, a Polaris ATV, to help with snow plowing. We cut a ton of firewood and process it here. So it helps moving that around with the garden. It's just a great all-around tool. So we're coming up on its 25-hour service, and rather than take it to the dealer, which is probably going to be a couple $100, we're going to do it ourselves for about 70 bucks. So why don't you join me as we learn this together, since I've never done it before.
Hi, and welcome to Dad Fixed It. My name is Eric, and this is my family. We're a family of 6 living in the Northeast. As you can imagine, life is pretty expensive. To help us out, I try to fix everything I can around our house to help save money. I'm not a plumber, a carpenter, a mason, or an electrician, but I try my best with what I have. Hopefully I can help you fix something and save you a lot of money. Come along on this journey, and let's learn together. Let's fix it.
Alright, so all we really should need for this job is this kit that includes 2 quarts of their synthetic PS4, an oil filter, a drain plug washer, a quart of the AGL, a quart of the demand drive fluid. I've gone ahead and printed out my own maintenance log and created a folder so that I can keep track of everything. And also you want to make sure you keep your receipts. That way if you ever have a warranty issue, you can prove that you've done it. Probably need some gloves, some basic tools like a ratchet and some sockets, some paper towels. Let's get started. So we let the ATV warm up outside for a good 10 minutes, and I drove it around just to get all the fluids moving, warmed up so that they drain easier. Ideally we'd do this in the summertime, but unfortunately it's not an option. You can see we are exactly 25.1 hours on the engine. So this is a perfect time to do this. So apparently I was wrong. It is not a socket, it is a 6mm Allen. It's kind of odd, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, one more thing. Always wear your safety glasses. It's not worth it for the extra couple seconds it takes to put them on. We'll get a couple rags ready. Get this guy loose. All right. A little tight, but it's okay. We'll make it work. I should have pulled the dipstick out so that it drains more easily. Alright, so we'll let that drain. Alright, now the oil is basically all drained out. Go under here and slow down to just barely a drip. Move the pads under there so I have some room. And just check the sealing surface, which looks very clean. One thing you always got to be really careful of is when I took the plug out, the crush washer wasn't on it. And if the crush washer sticks to the case and then you try to put a new crush washer on and tighten it down, it's going to end up leaking. You're going to have oil all over the place and it could seize your engine if you're not careful. So I'm going to go ahead, put the crush washer on, and there's a torque spec on this, so I'm going to have to look that up real quick. And you can see here the crush washer did indeed stick and fell off into the oil drain pan. Alright, we have our new crush washer installed. And it's just basically a sacrificial piece of little metal, soft copper, that'll is softer than the plug and the case, so it'll compress, make a good seal. I've already wiped this down. Should go back in nice and easy. And then it calls for a torque of 12 foot-pounds, which isn't much, which is the very bottom end of my torque wrench setting, so hopefully this works. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think it's registering. I'm just gonna do it by hand and feel it. That That's plenty tight. Probably too tight. This is not easy. Put this thing in a tight spot. Just need to loosen it. There we go. Make sure the oil pan is under there to catch. But they do have a nice, perfect hole, right? And they know exactly where it's going to leak. These guys are smart, these engineers. All right. Take that out and drain it. We'll clean the sealing surface with a clean rag. So we're just going to wipe down the sealing surface of this. Make sure there's no dirt on there. And you always want to put a little fresh oil on the gasket on the new filter so that it spins on properly and doesn't bunch up. And use the fresh oil, don't use the old oil. It's not worth it. I've already put a little oil on this guy. Synthetic PS4. Oops. And if that happens, you want to make sure you didn't get any grease or any dirt. Goodness gracious, how am I supposed to do this? Oh, maybe the other side. Yeah. This might be the better angle. Alright, then we'll just tighten it up by hand. Now that I've tightened the oil filter, good and tight by hand, I'm going to go ahead and loosen the oil drain plug again just because I didn't like how that torque wrench was behaving. Yeah, I definitely tightened it way too much. So I'm going to use a smaller torque wrench and see if we can get the right setting on here. Well, apparently my small torque wrench is broken too. So I'm just going to crack this and then kind of do it by feel. And I'm definitely going to save that other crush washer because in reality you can use those things a few times. That feels about good. All right, on to the next point. I don't have a funnel with a long enough neck. So I'm going to overcome that just using a regular funnel with a clear piece of Tygon tubing that's clean. Make sure it's clean if you're ever going to do this. And I'll set this aside to use for oil changes in the future. Just put that right down in the crankcase. Go ahead and add our PS4 oil. And we'll just keep adding until you finish both quarts. Alright, all the oil's in. Put the dipstick back in, and then when we're done with the service, check the levels after we run it. And obviously check for no leaks too. Next is the transmission fluid. Alright, just in case we get a leak. Just don't want a bunch of fluid to come pouring out. Oh yeah, that's on the money right at the bottom. Alright, we'll just check our gasket, make sure it looks good. Make sure there's no debris on the fill plug. It's not on there very tight because it's just a rubber O-ring. So we will not tighten that much. There's a torque spec, but... Alright, on to the front gear case. So it looks like for this next part, we're gonna have to take the plow off, which is so easy. I love it. All right, we are gonna do the last step, which is the demand drive of the front gear case. Also an 8mm. Actually, I'm supposed to remove the fill first. Fill is all the way buried over here. Fluid coming out, some pretty thick stuff. Allen came apart. right, we have located our Allen that fell off. Tapped it back in so it'll be secure. Now we can release the drain. This sure is clean. Thick, but it's clean. Alright, says it only takes 9 ounces. Not that much. Now you can see there's a little bit of metal on there. Nothing terrible, probably just from the break-in. Well, we're all drained out. We're gonna clean the surface of this with a clean rag. The drain. Gonna reinstall our drain plug. It's the one with the magnet on it to catch any filings or debris. Very, very low torque setting. I'm just gonna gently tighten it on there and then fill. That's it. Clean up the area. Alright, gonna reach in there and try to clean around the fill hole. With the winch on here definitely makes it pretty tough. But I'm gonna fill this to 8 ounces and then add another ounce and then check the level. It's supposed to hold 9 ounces or be right at the bottom of the threads. So I'm going to use the same Tygon tubing that I've cleaned out of the motor oil. Oh, I think we're very close. Add a little bit more. Once we see this thing kind of overflowing, we know we're good. And we still have our pan under there to catch. We are full. All right, you can see, hopefully, in there that we are filled right to the bottom of the threads. Of course, you see the fluid moving back and forth. So I'm just going to put the fill plug back in. I think we can just about call it a day after we clean up, soak up any excess spilled fluids. Next lesson learned. You can't get in there with a regular 3/8 extension. You need to set up something that's got a bit of a swivel because it's offset. So that's fun. And this is definitely something you don't want to strip out. And another very low torque. Seeing it's got just a rubber O-ring. And that's it. Alright, little bonus here. Polaris sent this out. Apparently some people were shorting out wrenches against the ECU when they were changing the battery or adding things onto the terminal. So let's see if we can just add this plastic cover that they signed on real quick. So it says we're going to open the front cover. Okay. Then we are going to locate the ECUs, check and see if it does have a plastic cover, which it does indeed already have a plastic cover. So this has apparently already been installed, but wait, let's see. Oh, we are going to change this cover. Alright, let's set this up. Apparently that cover doesn't provide enough protection. It's a little hard to get to. Supposed to be able to remove the tab on the bottom. Do it from the top first. come off as easy as I say it does. Must be a little tab down here. Ah, there we go. That's apparently junk now. Okay. Alright. Push these down and away. That's it. Done. Now it's better protected. All right, you can see I've got my log filled out, got my receipts. I can put everything away. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I definitely learned a lot about this and how to do it and some ideas for next time. I learned I need a couple of long neck funnels and a new torque wrench and a couple other things to make this easier next time. But thanks for hanging out today. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Have a good one.